Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L coming in with an anime midway point review video. This time specifically we're covering the 2021 adaptation of the video game The World Ends With You. In this video you'll get my overall review of the show based on the first 6 episodes, and you'll get my recommendations on who should watch this, and then you'll get my rapid fire notes that I made as I watched the first 6 episodes. This video was made at the request of patron and frequent supporter of the channel, Talowolf. So Talowolf, I hope you enjoy this, but otherwise, let's start simple with the synopsis. Neku awakens in the middle of Shibuya's bustling scramble crossing with no memory of how he got there. Little does he know, he's been transported to an alternate plane of existence known as the Underground. Now an unwilling participant in the mysterious Reaper's game, Neku must partner up with a girl named Shiki in order to survive. Together, they complete missions and defeat monsters known as Noise, as they gradually uncover the true nature of this twisted game. There's only one way to stay alive in Shibuya. Trust your partner. Will they survive the Reaper's game? Question mark. I won't spoil anything in this segment, but suffice to say that there's more than what the synopsis said up there. Now, to very quickly speak about the parts of this production. First, music and visuals. Let me tell ya, this thing is so pretty. Like, wow, I was blown away at parts. This looks like the game's visual style, and it was maintained so well. It's so fun to look at. There is CG, but it's applied to enemies. It's a bit jarring, but I appreciate that the enemies were still stylish. Not the worst CG that we've ever seen in anime. For the music at some point is a remixes from the video game soundtrack, and the video game soundtrack was amazing. So here we just see more amazingness. So that was pretty awesome. Overall, I don't usually review based on visuals and audio because a lot of times I watch low budget shows, but for this one, wow, it is so pretty and it sounds so nice. Moving into the story, just letting you know, I do not have any exposure to the game proper. I only really know about the characters from Kingdom Hearts. Anyway, with the story is legit surprising. I was caught off guard a ton of times. Story-wise, everything is understandable and doesn't have anything super jarring. Overall, an understandable, digestible, and approachable story. Moving on into characters, the main characters, both protagonists and villains, are visually striking. Of the characters so far, the main character Neku has been the most annoying just because of how long he spends angsting. That said, I respect what the story did with him, and he did legit get better by episode 4. Villain side, I think some villains are less impressive than others, but you know, not all villains can be created equal. But so far, really, I only have one gripe with one villain, so it's not the worst situation that we've ever seen in anime. In terms of other small details, it's a video game adaptation, so some things are going to get glossed over. It doesn't really get in the way of enjoyment. That said, sometimes the dialogue feels a little bit stupid, with there being 2 instances where the dialogue just seemed either redundant or nonsensical. And I checked with someone who played the game 4 times on one of those bits, and she thinks that this is due to the anime expanding material, so that makes sense. When there's filler material getting involved, that's where an anime usually becomes the weakest, because when they're trying to pad things out, things get stupid. Because padding, for this one, padding means making someone say something stupid. So all that taken into consideration, who should watch this? The show is really easy to get into, and it's not the most complex or convoluted thing in the world. It's also a type of death game adaptation. Mind you, if you're coming in for death games, you're not going to see the grittiness of recent death game anime. It's death game light in that sense. Because of this though, you can honestly give it to casual viewers. Give them the first 3 episodes. Those 3 episodes are so packed and so fast that they'll actually be a pretty good test for the rest of the series. Heck, the first 3 episodes have as much content and development as a 12-episode low-tier adaptation of an isekai anime. So this is a solid watch the first 3 episodes and see if you want to continue type anime. The anime is also, like I said, very pretty. You can get a bunch of casual viewers in that way because a good chunk of casual viewers just want to see something pretty. This is one of those that you can give them. So in that regard, this show is good for casual anime viewers. And beyond that, fans of the video game should probably give the adaptation a look just to see the characters in motion. Seasoned anime viewers would probably be okay with this as long as they go in ready to accept that some things are going to get glossed over because this is a video game adaptation. For instance, with the powers, the characters just do stuff and there's nothing about unlocking new powers. Powers come as easily as levels do in a video game. So if you like proper power exposition, that is not what you're getting in any which way. For the seasoned anime viewers, honestly, I would say come in just wanting to have a fun time, and I think you'll be solid. So overall, if you like stylish action, if you like striking characters, if you like plot twists, and if you like a super digestible plot, check out The World Ends With You, the animation. From the first 6 episodes, it seems like a solid investment. Now that was the end of the super professional segment. Now it's time for the rapid fire. I've held myself back long enough, but now I've got my notes, my praises, and my rants. Get ready, here come the spoilers. I'm talking about many notable moments from episode 1 to 6.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Episode 1. In the first episode, we get a lot. We get mysterious pins, we see some power mechanisms, and we learn Neku, this angst factory in human form, can't be seen by regular people. Good intro. The first fight scene is as video game as you could imagine, and it looks good, man. It looks so stylish. We get one explanation for the powers, and that's it. That's a video game adaptation for you, though. I was actually really surprised that we got nothing else. Not even an acknowledgement that this guy went from shooting fire to shooting lightning to making stylish ice come out of the ground. Don't even get me started on Shiki and her doll. It's cool though. It's a video game adaptation. I'm not expecting the anime staff to actually try and explain how this stuff works because this isn't an isekai anime, but still, a lot of things just go down with these powers. Oh, speaking of her, thankfully this girl, Shiki, could clue us in on what was going on with this game. In the first episode, she was really a neat exposition device, and her being an exposition device made sense given what was revealed later on, so I appreciated that. At this point, it doesn't need to be said, but everyone's pretty stylish. They look so good. If there was one thing in the first episode I didn't like, it was the sudden falling asleep. I get the mechanism and the reason it happens, and I can see the video game-ness of it, but it was just so jarring in that first episode. I feel much better as the series goes on because I get used to it, but I just found it, even then, kind of inconsistent with how Neku was being reset. Meet, Beat, and Rhyme, characters I honestly was left surprised by the whole way throughout, and we met them early on. And this is where I'm going to start singing the praises of Beat. When you have Neku being so angsty, it's so great to see Beat just come in here like a wrecking ball and bust this guy's balls. Also, Beat's great for asking the obvious question about this guy's headphones. Man, Neku is such an angst factory that the villains are relying on it to destroy him. And it actually almost works. I actually really respect that they acknowledge that Neku's angst is a problem and they weaponized it. If no one acknowledged how much of a pain in the neck Neku was to deal with early on, I was going to flip. That chokehold looked really good though. I kind of want to see more of that. In this episode, we also got this cool old man. It's not anime without a cool old man coming in and saving you at the last minute. Except this is the first episode. Cool old men don't usually show up at the first episode. Regardless, I love that this guy came in, spit in the rules about how this thing is supposed to work. He's clearly a guy that you want to hang out with. All things considered though, the first episode came in with a lot, and Neku, he had such a quick character arc. We have an angsty guy, we have this angsty self-destruct, and we get this angsty redemption. All in one episode, like wow! Other isekai anime, for instance, take 6 episodes to give the main character this kind of progression. It's kind of a novelty nowadays. Man, the powers and how they're adapted is still so cool. Also, it was ridiculously funny how after spending a good portion of the episode talking about how they couldn't speak to people who weren't players, it took them till the end to realize that they were talking to people that they really shouldn't have been able to talk to. But at least Neku clued in that they were Reapers. Shiki and Neku legit look cute together. Oh, the villains. The Reapers. They are stylish and they have a bar. Nice. Though I wonder, The World Ends With You is an old game. I wonder if a certain other group of villains and their own bar hideout was inspired by these. Nah, there's no way. There's no way. Bars and villainy just go so well together, it must be a general trope that people take advantage of. Episode 2 was the Shiki episode, and it was going to be dedicated to who this girl was, and Neku was being angsty again. Where's Beat? Oh, there he is. Neku says a lot of stuff, but I'm happy Beat is there to call him out. This guy might be the best character. This guy though, this guy really bothered me. This guy was an influencer before influencers really took over in the real world, but still, he's got such a punchable face. I hope someone punches him. Okay, the big plot moment, the reveal of Shiki's face isn't actually Shiki's face. That was actually really surprising, and I like how that led to the reveal about prices you pay in order to play the game. That was good. The episode had the single most video game thing I have ever seen so far. This guy is still by far the most punchable person here. Man, how lucky is it when people get blasted in the initial blast? Our characters weren't among the first hit. Someone's looking out for them because I mean, really, look at this. They got really lucky. That first blast could have wiped them out. Also, I'm glad Shiki got to overhear that the thing that made her super depressed was just a small teenage misunderstanding. Good thing Shiki was dead enough to hear it. And and people get to come back to life if they win the game, because as it turns out, they're already dead. Like, this is actually a really cool plot reveal, given how narratively it tied into Shiki's appearance and all that. Episode 3, there was a neat little detail where some teenagers were shown to be in an accident. Lo and behold, they show up later. Honestly, really neat. I liked a little bit of foreshadowing. As I understand, this wasn't foreshadowed in the video game. Oh, look, see, this is what I'm talking about the inconsistency with the whole waking up thing. This time, Neku woke up standing. I don't know why that happened. All in all, though, Shiki had a really worthwhile storyline that I didn't see coming. It was heartfelt at the end, and I was really happy that she got a character arc out of this. You know, it took me a while to realize that this Reaper girl was bearing her midriff. It's a funny costume, but I like it. Holy crap, episode 3 was the biggest Wham episode I've ever seen, man. Did not see Rhyme going down actually being a thing. And I most certainly did not see the poor girl being eaten by a shark. Holy. Also good to know that they were in a car accident before this, I guess. Oh, and there's this body catch. This anime really likes pushing people into other characters. The super cool old man showed up again. Much appreciated, old bro. And the guy comes in with options for beat too. He knows so much, man. This is a positive role model. Neku should really look up to this guy. Beat showing up in front of the Reapers after going missing was another big shock for me in episode 3. I was so curious what was going to happen. And man, like that point, I gotta say, the anime was just so good at making this exciting. I didn't actually think we'd get such a legit boss fight, and yet, you know, not the best CG in the world, but it works in context here. The action was great for this fight. Also, this guy had a chef cooking gimmick that didn't really come out a lot compared to the next guy's gimmick, but, you know, just gonna point it out there. Could have been done better. At this point, it's important to say that this being a video game adaptation really made the boss fight shallow, in the sense that you're just watching things happen without any of the real whys behind it. At this point, I gotta say, Shiki and Neku are still very, very adorable. And then we find out, whoopsie doopsie, only one person can be revived. Man, these people are the biggest dicks in the world. So Neku decides to play the game again for a shot at life, and I think that's completely reasonable. And then wham, massive dick munch strikes again and takes away Shiki. Yo man, this kind of dickness should be illegal. I'm filing a complaint. What a jerk. Suffice to say that this really got me, and I'm very invested at this point. Then at the end of episode 3 we meet this dick. Episode 4 we get Joshua, this guy who you can tell knows a lot. When a man comes in saying he knows you and has been watching while you survive a death game, I would say you suspect this person heavily. Actually, the rate at which Neku flip-flops between being suspicious and going along with this guy is ridiculous. But I get it, you know, like, what choice do you have? You're quite literally dead. In this episode, we also get the full glimpse of the math and sculpture-obsessed Reaper. I heard he was super popular with the fans of the video game. I don't know why Neku and Joshua looked so oppressive with their meteors, but I liked it, man. Even though Joshua is a dick. Good to know that Neku got back his memories though. Past Neku didn't seem so angsty. What happened to that guy? Neku should smile more. He actually looks really adorable when he smiles. I never imagined they would explain how the shop system worked in anime. Like that was greatly appreciated. Another almighty push. There's so many almighty pushes, man. Oh, and we got another game mechanic, enemies that can only be killed by simultaneous attacks. Also worth saying, this is where we get a new enemy type, Taboo Noise, that seems to be a danger to everyone, Reapers included. If there's something I think has been well implemented, it's Shiki and her friend. Even after Shiki has been dusted, this is still kinda like landing with me. Man, Joshua's a dick. Holy crap, moly! Beat's a Reaper now? Nice, I kinda wish this beat came down when Neku was still a Jor. Wait, hold on, did this guy seriously just show up to push Neku over and deliver a one-liner? Seriously? That's so video game, man! Actually, if Beat shows up just to push Neku around from time to time, I don't think I would mind. Episode 5, there are a lot of flashbacks. I feel like I've seen the flashback of Shiki's death more than 5 times by now. I don't think I need this flashback so much. Yo, the old man's back, and he's a barista, and he's special, he can see dead people. You know, not only is he a barista, but he's also a hacker able to interfere with this game and give the characters app. Look, it is ridiculously cool that this guy is so talented. He can make stuff that interferes with life and death. That feels like that's a big deal. And here in this episode, Joshua says he volunteered for the Reaper game. Suffice to say, Joshua's a dick. Oh, and there's a title drop. That's funny. I don't know if I said this before, but Joshua's a creep. Now he's saying he wants to guide Shibuya. What's so special about Shibuya that it needs Joshua to guide it? In In this episode, we have this whole thing where the villains are trying to figure out the shenanigans going on with Taboo Noise. As it turns out, things are getting tough on all sides. Reapers are dying. Yo, look at this. Does this not look super video game? Joshua has a camera that takes pictures of the past. And it was the old man that installed it on his phone. How does one man make an app that can see into the past? I gotta ask, is the guy God? If this is what God looks like, well, crap, nice. This is actually a pretty fair rendition. The almighty push returns yet again. I swear almost every fight has an almighty push. Oh, and they do a joint attack once more to win against the Taboo Noise. Great. Joshua's a dick. And what's with that gun? That looks so stupid, man. But yeah, Joshua shot Neku. Like, what a dick, right? I was saying it the whole time. Episode 6. There is still a lot of almighty pushing in this anime. I've never heard so much attitude in someone saying senpai. This is a voice clip. I love Beat. Even when he's a dick, he is still by far like one of the best aspects of this anime. I legit never imagined these guys can give Neku a heartwarming lesson. Yeah, you know, like in the grand scheme of things, having a shot at coming back to life after being shot by Colossal Dick Joshua is a pretty good deal, even if you have to play the game many times, because the Reapers are dicks as well. Neku going crazy or finding out who his idol was legit one of my favorite moments. Let's get more of starstruck Neku. Also, Neku's idol was the old man barista guy. Turns out he's also an incredible graffiti artist. Like, is there nothing God can't do here? And I'm just gonna say I think he's God at this point. One of these scenes is awkward in the sense that they had to confirm something that they already tested. I just don't understand how after fighting Taboo Noise twice and acknowledging both times that they can only be destroyed by joint attacks, you're speaking like you're still not sure that joint attacks are the only thing that works. This would not happen to a video game player. A video game player gets the observation once, and you better believe they're going to apply that lesson much faster than brain dead Captain Joshua. This short-term memory loss feels really concerning, but this is an anime problem. You can tell it's an anime problem. This is because they're trying to expand stuff and make the fights more interesting, or like pad out the fights, because it's not really an issue about being interesting. I don't think it's a good move. Pretty negative point here. And again, another almighty push. I will never take away points for the almighty push, but man, there's a lot of almighty pushes here. Joshua did something crazy. I mean, the moment you get feathers and pillars of heavenly light, you gotta be like, yo, this guy's God, or Jesus, or an angel. But let's go back to Jesus. You know, I heard that Jesus is the Western pronunciation for that name, and that the name may have been pronounced something like Jeshua. So good God, man, if that's actually the connection there. Josh was pretty insane in this episode, though. He was pretty calm when he flat out said he may have killed Neku. I really wanted to make fun of Neku's angst here, because believe me, I want to make fun of him a lot, but the kid has it rough, man. He has it so rough. Like, thanks, Joshua. You have me defending Neku. I didn't think I'd actually get to this point. You are such a dick. The most insane thing I see in this episode, though, is one of the villains saying that there's not enough evidence of one of their own screwing stuff up, and it's like he's making actual spawn points for these monsters. People have seen this. This one cool guy with the orange hair has seen this. Are you insane? You're insane, aren't you? This is like seeing a guy let the enemy combatants into your base and then saying you need more evidence to determine whether or not he's a traitor. After the enemy combatants were just like, hey, thanks for letting us into the base. Only in fiction can you find someone being this pedantic. Like, holy crap moly. And this is the part I got insider information that this was not in the game. So, this is on the anime. Well, there we go. 50 good things, 6 or pretty much questionable factors, and 2 are you insane, which are pretty much the dumbest things I've seen in the anime. Overall, not the worst. The world ends with you. I'm into it. I'm invested. I do not regret watching this at all. Thank you, Talowolf, for making me watch this. But yeah, overall, I think it's a solid show. If the rapid fire made you interested in it, please check it out. Also, if you like this format, let me know down below. This is pretty much a consolidation of what you would have gotten if I was reviewing all these episodes one by one. So, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you felt about it. And if you really enjoyed the video, do share it out. Because that will help the channel. And yeah, till next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.